Hi, and welcome to one and all Namaste. And from wherever you're watching across the globe, this is the next episode on Unfear Sutra. And we're joined by somebody who's just amazing. And why do we do this? Because Unfear Sutra is all about dipping into your greatness, it's about manifesting that beautiful side of you, which is so powerful, so unique. And how do we do this? The first season is all about unfearing different aspects in your life kind of keeps you stuck. So today is about unfearing emotions. Can we do that? Yes, of course. And we have a beautiful, amazing human being all the way from India. Of course, that's where I live. So we're very close here to each other. Hi, Punam. This is
Hi,
Punam
Anu.
Bhardwaj from Bangalore, India. So how are you, Punam?
I'm very good, Anu. Thank you so much for inviting me. I always love these conversations with you, and I love the space that you create for people. So, really happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and we'll hear more from Poonam during the episode. And if you've got any questions and things like that, you can drop it down on the YouTube channel and Spotify and via Sutra. And here is where we kick off because you need to know the Poonam that I know, or probably we don't know. So, Poonam is a passionate coach and NLP trainer helping individuals and businesses unlock their potential and accomplish their goals. Poonam works with people and organizations to enable change from inside out through coaching and personal transformation programs. She's currently leading learning and OD in India for an international mortgage firm. She's also the founder of Ikigai Tales, NLP training and coaching. Punam has worked with a wide range of clients across age groups, gender and geographies, including corporate organizations, entrepreneurs, professionals in the space of arts, young adults, and senior executives. Apart from her regular workshops and NLP programs, Punam has a special place for creating breakthroughs with limiting belief system and facilitates signature workshops and intensives on decoding the belief code. Of course, we can run one more episode on that Punam belief code. That is something so wide, so much to learn about it. But let's today talk about unfearing emotions. First and foremost, let's hear a little bit about Punam. Tell our viewers and listeners who is Punam. As simple as that. So, Punam, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and why. Why did you choose this? I mean, is there a reason? So, your entire background,
Right,
because that makes us who we are, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anu, for such a wonderful introduction. So, who I am, I love to believe that I am a life coach. And I think that is something that is at the core of everything that I do. How I reached here, maybe if you want to know a little bit about my journey, I never ever had dreamt of being here coaching people. You know, I come from a small town in India, in North India, and like our conditioning, I was also ready to finish my studies, get married, but and then just move on with life as usual as it comes. But then accidentally a job happened to me, and after that there was no looking back for me. And what I really believe in is the divine interventions that keep happening, because I think coaching came to me like that. I just i just it just there was a voice, big loud voice in my head, and I couldn't ignore. And I was driving with a friend of mine, and I told her, listen, I want to be a coach, out of the blue. And after that realization, within 6 months, I had my coaching certification in hand. I had completed my NLP. I had begun my NLP journey. And uh, and I realized how much I love working with people, helping them reach their goals, help them get in touch with their true potential, and just be there and be a part of their journey of excellence. So that's what I do. I currently am working with an organization. Even there, I'm doing a lot of coaching work. And whether it is within an organization or out, I've realized at the end of the day, We all are people, no matter what designation we have, no matter what we are doing. We have similar emotions, similar needs, similar desires, similar stories, similar pain, and similar pleasures, happiness, and similar fears. So I'm here to talk about unfearing, and I love this concept that you have brought to life. Unfearing, I think, is wonderful. So that is about me. Anu, is there anything that I missed, or you want to ask anything specifically?
Now, I want
Happy
to
to
tell
answer.
you, I liked your epiphany for whatever had happened in your friend's car. It's nice sometimes we don't decide what we want to do in life, but the decision is already made. And we are happy, aren't we? Actually, I'm sure the viewers and listeners are happy that Punam is here out in the world, honoring what she was meant to do. So we are very happy with that. So continue on your beautiful journey as
Thank
you
you.
go around impacting people, making a difference to them. So we are joined by Punam Bhardwaj from India. She's an NLP trainer. And in this season, this episode, we are going to speak with her on unfearing emotions. And my next question to you is people, we're very cunning, right? I mean, when I say we are very cunning, not in the wrong sense, but we can be very cruel when it comes to ourselves, deceiving ourselves by saying, hey, this emotion doesn't exist, or I've gotten over it. I can roll it under the carpet. I can shove it under the rug. Okay. And I've let it out and I've let it go. Truly, I don't know how many of us are very aware of it and literally have worked on it and then let it go, derived a meaning out of it, especially when we're talking about unresolved emotions, unfavorable emotions, when we're talking about situations that have not been very, very kind onto us. We hold on to it. Skimming over or shoving it under the rug is a practice. Maybe it could be cultural, or it could just be that we've just been conditioned. And the pain that comes from that is something that we do not want. We want to avoid it, moving away from pain. But how useful is it, especially when we're talking about you being a life coach, you being a trainer, you understanding the mind? How useful is it to actually work on these unfavorable emotions, these unresolved emotions? What lies on the other side? So I'm sure each one of us want to know that because we continue to do that as a pattern behavior. So Poonam, over to you.
Thank you, Anu. And like you rightly said, that we are very smart when it comes to working with emotions, right? The ones that we like, we chase those. The ones that we don't like, we are very skilled in running away from those emotions. Okay, and those who are new to NLP or have not heard about NLP, NLP firmly believes in the intelligence of our unconscious mind, and it knows the emotions that we are trying to run away from, and we kind of deliberately create situations around us that help us keep those emotions at bay, running away from them, not knowing that unless I address that, I will not make a breakthrough or progress. Everything else that I will do, it may not look like it, but it will be very superficial, because deep within I still have those unresolved situations, emotions, problems that they're there, right? uh, I know, before I started my journey as a coach NLP, what a favorite thing for me it used to be to just put everything under the carpet, everything under the carpet. And one day, I realized that the carpet has become like this hill, because there is so much under that. And I remember working with my coach at the time, and he asked me, write down your problem. And I just could not even write a word, because there were so many, because I didn't know which one to write about. I had never thought about it. I had never addressed them, never resolved them. Burying my head in the sand was my go to technique to keep myself maybe sane at the time. So the thing is that when we are being affected by so many emotions, especially the ones that are negatively affecting us, uh, whatever we know is the best thing to do, we go for it in that moment, whether it is shoving it under the carpet, putting it aside, ignoring it, avoiding it. We are trying to work in our best interest, but it might not be the best thing to do to take care of yourself, right? Because it always comes back. It has not gone. You've just kept it aside, and it will always keep coming in front of you unless you learn to embrace it, work through it, be able to look beyond it, and commit to working through that.
So true. So it's like almost, what you're saying is we're skilled because it keeps us in a happy space. We do not want to face that pain. So what if we actually sought to believe that that pain is a message, that particular emotion is also trying to tell us something? Wouldn't it be almost like, and that's another question that I can pick off, would it be that these emotions are actually trying to communicate to us in a particular way for us to look at that area and say, hey, there's some work here. You guys need to be looking at me. So, would it be a message of that sort?
Absolutely, all the time. You are absolutely right, Um, so, whenever we are going through any negative emotion, it's because it's something that is happening that we don't like or we don't want, right?
True.
So, if I don't take a pause and think about it, what is happening that I don't like or I don't want, I may not be able to understand what I really want. Talking about creating contrasting experiences. So, our emotions are trying to tell us that, listen, uh, this is an area that needs your attention. There is something that you need to look look into, and whatever is there right now is not what's really working for you, is not something that's good for you. So let's think about what is it that we want.
Awesome. So, if you were to pick off, if you had experiences of working with somebody, and at different points of time, Poonam, even if it's even us, we kind of have, uh, it's like, okay, let me not look at this. I'll look at it later. And very conveniently, that's our coping mechanism, right? Push off something, procrastinate, look at it later. So when you have clients like this who are literally fearful of emotions, and that could be because of various reasons, it could be unpleasant to face them, there could be pain associated with them, there could be a complete fear and like, I don't know what, it's like stirring a hornet's nest, right? It's like, okay, let's not look at it. Why even, it's fine. Everything is nice. I'm smiling today. I'm happy. Why do I have to get into it? So have you had to work with clients who have feared emotions? It's like, let's not even go there. How have you helped them, nudge them, guide them to unfear these emotions?
Right. There are so many, Anu, and most of the clients are actually are coming with problems because those problems are there because they're avoiding something. And they're avoiding those actions, those experiences, because it gives them an uncomfortable feeling. They can give it any name. Emotions can be different for different people, right? I may call something being nervous, somebody can call it I'm being sad, somebody can call it I'm feeling I'm feeling depressed, or I'm feeling anxious. But what is it that's giving us all those feelings, right? For example, I'll speak about two of my recent clients that I've worked with. One was and I just also want to bring our attention to the fact that it may not be like deep seated things that unresolved traumatic things. These can be day to day activities that can limit us if we avoid those emotions. So this client of mine, they were working on a project, and every time they take their project to their boss, there used to be negative feedback. or constructive feedback even, or sometimes everything that they had put together was really just scrapped off and say, okay, we have to pivot, we have to start from the scratch. Now, multiple experiences, my client now had started fearing going to the boss. And because they do not want to go to the boss, they're not even feeling motivated to pick up that project again. I don't want to put in an effort because I will have to go and take it for the review. Then I'll get this feedback. Then I will not feel bad. I will not feel good about it. I question my capabilities. I question my potential, and it doesn't make me feel good about myself. I just am losing my drive to even not just do this project, to even stay in this job. And I cannot do that because I have a family to feed. So I'm feeling so stuck. I don't know what to do. So we kind of worked on it, and we again, how emotions come to play. And this client happened to share that when this project began, I was so excited, super driven about it. So we kind of did some work, and when I asked them that what is it that you had then that you do not have now, so we did a little bit of work, and this client got an insight that you know when they started, they had just got this job after a long duration of not having any work to do. So there was a lot of gratitude. There was a lot of gratitude that they had for this job, and that's what used to give them drive. And that was an aha moment for them. So for them to deal with this emotion, this fear of feeling bad, not being told that you are good enough, all those emotions, the workaround for them became getting in touch with a powerful emotion. Okay. So there where they found their solution. So this emotion, running away is not a solution, because this will always be there. If you have to maintain this relationship, it it will keep coming. There will be instances that you will be feeling bad about what you did, other people, but then quitting your job is not a solution, right? So can you get in touch with a more powerful emotion that helps you overpower this negative emotion? So that was their solution.
Wow. I loved. Yeah, go on. If there's something else, yes.
No, I was just about to tell the story of another client, but before that, if you have any initial
No, no,
reactions,
no. I
you want to
almost could
chime in.
visualize the entire thing, you know. It's like getting in touch, and that's something that I want you people to really write it down somewhere. Getting in touch with your powerful emotion, something that can literally overshadow. It can cast a doubt over what you're currently feeling, which is so temporary. And I like that actually, Poonam, when you say that, because we are so quick to judge ourselves based on what we feel momentarily, that we know that it's going to pass. Okay, everybody is like, we're very beautiful, right? This too shall pass. But I don't know how much we believe in that. But to also, I like exactly what you were saying, getting in touch with another powerful emotion, which can overshadow this, which can literally mask this, but not ignoring it, but actually getting them into a beautiful space from where they can operate, a more resourceful space.
Yes.
I love what you're saying. So, yes, we are ready to hear the next story of your client
Yes.
and how you
Thank you.
help them.
So
And before that, this is Poonam here, and we're having a wonderful conversation. So don't start from where you are if you've joined us now. So go back, okay, because we are talking with Punam Bhardwaj from India on Unfearing Emotions. So Punam is about to tell us another experience of hers working with a client who moved their emotions in such a way that they got in touch with a more powerful emotion. So over to you, Punam. Yeah.
thank you, Anu. Yes, like you said, emotions are good. Emotions are useful, right? That's what makes us human. It's just that we just need an understanding that this emotion is serving me well and this is not serving me well. What is this emotion giving me? Even if it is something that I'm not liking in that moment, there is something for me there. Let me just light my torch and look deeper. So I'll tell you the story of a client. And so this client had a habit, had not a habit, had a pattern of running away from difficult situations. Running away. Okay. She left her hometown and went out of town to get a job because she was not happy what was happening in the family. Then when she got uh, uncomfortable in that job because her colleagues were not nice, she left that job and then joined another one. And then for similar reasons, to run away from something that was painful, she got married. And then when she got married, to run away from the problems that she was having in her marriage, she left the relationship. She moved out of that. And so when she realized her pattern, she realized how she has been running away from one place to other, from one situation to other, and how this itch is so strong to just leave it and look for something else. If something is uncomfortable, let's just leave it, right? But there was so much unfulfillment that she was feeling because everything is just left in between. She had that feeling of not having accomplished anything in spite of doing so much, because there were so many loose ends everywhere, right? So so we worked with, you know, so we began with the very very basic thing, Anu, grounding. Okay, because when she was feeling this uncomfortable emotions, the first thought that used to come to her mind was, what's next? Where can I go next? What can I, which city should I move now? Should I change my job? Should I change my profession? Should I change my friends? Okay, so we first worked on being where you are. And the very first breakthrough she had was when I told her, okay, that you like change, it's good. You feel happy with change, it's good. But let the change come to you. Don't chase it. You be where you are. Let it come to you. And I think it touched some part of her, that that's when she started addressing this habit of hers of running away, and seeing the power in staying put, facing the problems. Okay, so the thing is that running away was not her only choice. Developing those capabilities, developing that courage, getting that voice so that she can express what she was uncomfortable with. So her she was not never used to complain, also never used to express that this is not what I want and this is what I want. So just don't say anything, but just leave everything and go. So even people around her wouldn't know that there was an issue, there was a problem. So we worked on her building courage to be able to speak what she wants and how she is feeling, acknowledge her emotions and call it out. Just say how she is feeling. And then it opened up so many suppressed emotions for her, whether it was abandonment issues in the childhood, as deep as that, to as temporary as uh, how I felt rejected or I felt unwanted because this group of friends did not include me. So things were at the deeper level as well, and they were like, now I can say small things, but maybe for her it was very important. And So I think finding her voice to speak up, identifying the emotions and calling them out clearly was really useful work for her.
God bless you for being and having your epiphany right on time. Because of that, there are so many people who can work with you and move towards the space of resolution, Poonam. So that is so important that you chose your profession. So we're very happy for that. We're very happy for that. I like what what I'm hearing here. It's not just about facing your emotions, not just embracing them, but you particularly mentioned it, twice, thrice over, calling out your emotions, literally becoming aware of them, right? Hey, they exist. What is it that it is doing right now for me? Is it working against me? Is it working for me? Till we call them
Yeah.
out. And if they are not working for us, I think it's time to look at that. So, great job. I'm so, so thrilled and I'm so happy for the people who are working with you. You're blessed. Okay. If you're if you're listening, let me tell you, she's one of the best coaches that I've ever known. So wonderful, wonderful work. So if you were to actually, for people who are totally unaware of, let's say, NLP or emotions. I mean, have you known these loose kind of phrases that people put, right? She's an emotional fool. There's nothing logical about, these kind of very offhanded statements and things like that. But we know that when we're working, we understand that there's so much of logic that goes behind an emotion, right? So if you were to, let's say somebody woke up in the morning absolutely feeling like, oh my God, this day is going to be so absolutely crappy. If they woke up and then if you were to actually just give them some sort of a mantra saying, okay, how do I own that space now? How do I feel better? How do I log in literally? And I'm using the word login because everybody understands login. How do I log in and check in into a more useful and positive emotion that's going to keep me beating at a better frequency throughout the day? So, what would you tell a person? All of us have had those moments in those days when we've woken up, those, oh my God, for absolutely no reason. So, if they had to decode an emotion or if they had to log into a better space, a better emotion, how would they do that? Like, how would Poonam actually tell our viewers and listeners now?
Right. So I'll tell you some very interesting facts, Anu. So actually, so I was teaching a class at work, and I was teaching people exactly similar kind of things. We were talking about mindset, and so I was telling them that even now, being a coach, it's having that mindset of always thinking about how can I get into a better state of mind, an empowering state of mind. It's a work that needs to happen intentionally, deliberately, consistently. It's a practice. Even now, day to day, we all have those stressors around us that put us in that kind of a disempowering mind state of mind, and then emotions come up. It will happen. It's not a surgery that we removed the negative emotion and now we have implanted the new emotion. It will always be there. So that back and forth will keep happening. You just have to start enjoying this game by being more aware of where you are, how you're feeling. So sometimes it happens that those negative emotions on some days are so powerful that maybe I'm not even able to think of what I want. Then I have a dialogue with my emotions. Okay. And I said, okay, what do you want? And if I hear, and it may just sound crazy for someone that may be new to this kind of work, but that's okay. Just have some patience, bear with me. I'll address that as well. So I have a dialogue and say, okay, what do you want? Do you want to stay for some time? You can stay, but just sit quietly. Don't disturb me because I have to do my work also. I'll get back to you. We will we will have our moments, but let me do what is priority for me. So don't come in my way. You can be here, So I give it some space. Otherwise, so I don't like to fight it, because the more I fight it, the more stronger it becomes. Right? So I give it space, I accept it. Okay, you've come, this emotion, I name it, I dialogue it, and I give it some space. And then on some days, it's easy to kind of get out of an unresourceful emotion and step into what I want. So many times I have caught myself asking myself, okay, this is what I'm feeling. I don't want it. What do I want? This is what I want. What can I do to get it? So I live alone here in Bangalore, right? And sometimes I'm feeling like, if all my friends are busy, nobody's available, so I'm feeling very like bored. I'm terribly bored. So then I may just get into that sulk mode for 5 minutes. So there's nothing to do. And then that light bulb comes on. Okay, then what do we want to do? What should we be doing? Maybe having a coffee. Then I'll just walk down to a coffee shop nearby and just sit with a book or just my music, and have a cup of coffee by myself. And just it has been so transformational on some days, that such small thing can have such a powerful effect and impact on you. It's unbelievable, right? And you're a mute.
I think we've done that for over 2 years. We've been on
Yeah,
mute,
yeah,
we've been
yeah,
talking,
yeah,
we've been pretty
absolutely.
animated, so it's been fun. So I did have my goosebumpy moment here because as you were talking, I think yesterday I had one of those moments where I was sulking. There was a lot of
Yeah,
self-pity, and it's like, why me? We do all these kind of things. So I love what you're saying, and I can just, if I were to pick off, as we're coming to a close, of this beautiful episode of Unfearing Emotions, the first thing that I picked off from you was, the rug. We love our rug going right up till here because you've shoved so many of these emotions. Let me tell you guys, pull off each emotion because the rug is meant to stay on the floor. Okay, that's where it's meant to be. The second thing that I picked off from you, Punam, was you mentioned embracing emotions, looking at them, identifying what they're trying to tell us because it's meant to take you to a better place. Calling out. I like that, especially because it's not just embracing them, but calling them out because when you put a name to it, you start to identify, associate something, saying, oh my God, this feeling is stemming from this. It's trying to tell me something. I love that. And of course, what you mentioned now was even like, it's, I'm telling you, it's very goosebumpy at this point of time. I'm still, stuck in that zone where, working with so many clients, understanding what they're going through, moving them from a disempowering space to an empowering space. It was nice to understand that, hey, this internal dialogue that we're so often that we do, which we don't identify, and that's the third one. Very, very important. The internal dialogue, the verbal dialogue that you're constantly having, you possibly don't even recognize it. Give yourself some time every morning, to ask, especially like you said, right? Okay, this is what I'm feeling. This is what I don't want. What is it that I want? Because that's where your attention has to go. Else you're just sulking, trying to, okay, I don't want this, I don't like this, and you just, it's like, that, what do you call that, Poduga bell, no? It just goes round and round and round, and then you're churning something and nothing comes out of it. You're churning emotions to such an extent that you've believed that you can't come out of it. But the one simple question, that internal dialogue, what is it that I want? I love that question. Very powerful.
yeah,
So your rug needs to stay on the floor. Two, embrace and call out your emotion. Three, start to make your internal dialogue so powerful that you're constantly in a powerful and very resourceful state of mind.
yeah, yeah.
Nice. I liked it. It's some sort
I
of a
just
mantra in my head now.
I just want to give, since you asked for a mantra, so uh, there's one that I tell my clients often is, the only way out is through.
Beautiful. The only way out is through. You've got to patent it, okay? Before somebody steals it from you. Make sure someday it's
Listen,
gonna come out,
I
right?
may have heard it somewhere or read it somewhere. So,
We'll just patent it and say,
but
okay,
it's very
Bhardwaj
powerful.
just said this. It is so true. The only way out
So
is
I don't know if you have time, but I also play a game with myself and my clients as well sometimes. The worst case scenario,
mm,
right? So if we are fearing something, if there's an emotion that I'm fearing, so what is the worst that can happen? And kind of experience that beforehand and see, can you handle it? The
yeah.
answer is always yes.
Always a yes.
Then what's there to fear?
Exactly. So beautiful. So beautiful. And we are joined with such a beautiful person. I'm so glad you became a coach, okay? I don't know. I know I've said it the third time, but this is meant for you. It just come to you at such a beautiful space. And the
Thank
way
you,
you're
Anu.
sharing your nuggets, your experiences, your stories, and unfearing emotions just got that much more simpler. Not very simple even now if it isn't, but just listen. Hey, go through this entire episode, listen to it, watch it, and you'll know. And if you want to reach out to Punam, you'll have all the details in the bio just below that video and on Spotify. So, Punam, before we sign off this beautiful episode with you, is there anything that you want to share with our viewers and listeners? Something inspiring from you. Like, I know that was very inspiring what you just said, your quote, right? Which I said you got a patent. So there's something inspiring that you want. You want to leave them with something that they can think about, they can work on. What would that be?
Yes, in fact, why not just identify one emotion that they're fearing right now and just think about what will it be like going through it to get out of it. Like I said, the only way out is through. So what does that through look, feel, and sound like? And maybe share in the comments with us and what insights you got. And are you able to unfear your emotions now?
Oh, Puram, thank you so much. At that journey of an emotion, it's not about avoiding, it's not about running away from it, but going through it. And I love what you say. So, ready to unfear your emotions? Poonam has just told us exactly how she experiences that journey, how her clients go through that journey, how we can support each other through this journey because emotions are meant to actually help you grow and not to be feared. So unfear your emotions now and watch out for our other episodes. Thank you so much for tuning in, listening to us, watching us. Look at all the other episodes and watch out for the next season coming soon. Thank you so much, Poonam. Mwah. Love you and love each one of you who's watching us and tuned in.
Thank you
Thank
so much,
you.
Anu. Thank you, everyone, and all the best. See you
Thank
around.
you. Mwah. Love you all. Into your greatness.